Hey, there's someone out there. Hi, welcome to Sunday Evening with Roxanne. I am your host, Roxanne, here at Odyssey of Ascension. And I found a new new position, a little bit different position of my umbrature. My umbrature. Yay, I play the flute too. You do, peace. Hi, honey. Hello, lovely. I'm not a great player. I'm okay. I played the clarinet. Now, I first played the viola. That was 4th and 5th grade. Then I started playing the clarinet in 6th grade. That lasted through high school. Then I stopped. Picked up a bass here and there. I was okay at music. But it's funny. While we're talking about music, think about Beethoven. Think about Chopin. Think about some of the people they have today. There's a guy out there that they just know. And I love that. I love that connectivity to creation. See, us humans, we define reality within the limitations of what we understand. We can't put it beyond that. And then when an idea comes along that puts it beyond the known standard, people fight it because that means change, and change is uncomfortable. Isn't that amazing? Beethoven wasn't great because he was smart. Beethoven, which is my favorite composer, by the way. I love Mozart too, but I really, really love Beethoven. He's so strong. He's so strong. Anyways, he tapped into consciousness. He understood from that connected self that dove past all the layers of crap that we build upon ourselves in society through the subconscious into the inner self that connects to all things. Started teaching myself guitar. Oh, that's awesome. And we all have our greats. We all have talent beyond where it would be, the top, like, Beethoven and then Michael Jordan, the top of the game, Tom Brady in football, to think of sports, or, Warren Buffett, different ideas like that. But our teachers and our parents and our societies, they funnel us. They funnel us into what's going to protect you and work out best for you to make it on your own out in society, and that is just amazing. Yeah, it's like when I'm writing, sometimes I don't know where it comes from. For God's sakes, don't give a fuck. Never give a fuck where it comes from. Stop trying to explain your way to logic. Not that you are, but I'm just telling this as an umbrella idea. Who gives a shit where it comes from? Stop. It doesn't matter, because the truest answer, the most accurate answer, is it comes from you. Yeah. But it doesn't come from this puny little brain that has so many years of experience, and it stores in the memory, and it calls it, that's how smart I am. Ridiculous. See, it sounds better. Sounds better. I like that little adjustment I made. I wanted to talk about the mattering tonight. First off, any of you out there, thank you all for tuning in. And as you tune in, if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up. Always, if you care to, subscribe. I want to talk about the mattering. I wrote it like that because it was, it was always, what's the matter? My mom thrived on problems because then she can have drama. When she has drama, that's what made her feel alive. That was her drug. Her drug was drama. Her drug was problem. Her drugs was, what's the matter? What happened? Oh, this happened. Oh, and it's nothing. It's fucking nothing. Now, all of you, each and every one of you, had your torment and fear all like, oh my God, to where you were panicked in the moment. And then Another person goes, no big deal, relax, we got this. See, they're panicked or you're panicked, and then you always get a person that says, don't worry about it, we got this, everything's going to be okay. See, because they have what? What do they have? And you have something different. Okay? Some people might call it an opinion, but I call it value. All right? It's a relationship. So I was valuing many different things that mattered. And as I started to journey and understand, shit doesn't matter. I'm telling you right now, from the perspective of the best version of myself in this moment after 13 years of doing this work, channeling for 13 years, studying for 13 years, not a goddamn thing matters because it's not about the mattering. It's never been about the mattering. I talked about this before. I think I actually did a video called The Matter or something. But I wanted to reiterate because it's so important, because in this idea lies so much freedom. How much stress do you have all day? Okay? I would like you to start observing your physical body. Okay? Are you tense at the end of the day? Right? Do you have to rub your shoulders? Are you headache? Exhausted? Feel your tension. Observe the shit out of yourself every day. And then you're going to see that you have a value system that is objectifying something. What's the matter? Let's talk about it. What's the matter? The matter now, it needs to be understood as an object. So humanity has this wonderful idea, being separated, objectifying reality. Again, me, you. You're an object in my world. These are all objects, and I have relationships with them, okay? So that truth becomes my reality, my experience. But see, we think everything matters. We are always looking for a message. We're looking for something that is going to change our lives. How about this? How about if nothing mattered, your life would change without the effort? Nothing ever matters until you value it as mattering, which is a way you create your world, right? Hi, Bailey. And Uriel. Hi, darling. Think about it. Oh, it's Scott. Hey, Scott, what's going on, darling? Think about this, okay? You value something. And when that valued idea, that is part of your identity, part of what makes you you, makes you tick every day. When that's disrupted, then it becomes a matter. And then now the relationship becomes tense. And then now the body follows. And now the energy is slowed. And the thoughts are slowed. The intelligence is slowed. And now the brain goes into survival mode and it starts to react to a situation to solve it. And it uses its resources of brain, its memory, to try to look around and get the salvation, to release ourselves from that pain, from that anxiety, from that mattering. Think about it. Really, really think about that, because there's such a fucking freedom in here. Look, we're not looking for answers down here. That's the illusion. We're not looking to solve problems. We're not looking to fix things. We are doing what we do all the time, but our brain, our ego, our identity doesn't believe that, which means if you don't believe that, then if you believe that, then that's your life. But you would not believe it anyway, because that's what you were taught. So you have to be masterful, sharp enough, courageous enough. I just learned a term, pluck and grit. Pluck means courageous, and grit means can journey through hardship, right? Okay, grit, So pluck and grit to get through the observer. The observer is the self that recognizes its own behaviors. That's it. You're looking at only the thing that truly matters is you. The outside isn't the mattering. It's the inside that creates the outside. You know that by now. You don't trust it. You may not believe it. You may not understand it in its fullness. But I'm telling you, every single relation creates a vibration. Every vibration attracts a reality to either continue that or to show you there's a possibility of change. If it is a relationship of authentic and it is something that you passion, hence Beethoven, hence MJ, hence Stephen Curry. I'm using basketball and sports because that's all I know is the sports side of things. Your passion, the artistry, like, oh, Jackson Pollock, good God, what an artist. Those ideas can flow because they're not inhibited by the matter that gets in the way. See, you overthink things. Humans overthink things. So you have to look this subjectively, not objectively. You have to look at it internally, from the subjective observer to the self. And you start to notice, I've got a lot of things. Think about when your coffee run goes wrong. Just that simple thing right there puts a monkey into the works, a monkey wrench into the works. It knocks you off your stride. It makes you pause. It may have a reaction because coffee matters, because it does something for you. And when you don't get it, you get disappointed. So now you have an attachment. The coffee's going to be there if you don't worry about it. Everything's going to come to you if you don't make it a matter. It's not what you want, though, is it? It's not what you want. Think about it. What you want is what your ego perceives your emotions want. What would give you sustained happiness, relief, rescue, freedom. So those are the things that you matter, that you find mattering, trustworthy, something that I want, need, desire, must have, safety and security. Those items that build this construct that operate every day, and that's how you navigate life. That's how you get through life. None of it matters, though. I guarantee it. Because what it is in the nature of things, okay? Take back from the physical body, move back into your consciousness where it's all happening. Move back into the tiny bubble that is your reality. And all of consciousness is within that pinhead, right? And all of everything. The only thing we're creating here is space. But space doesn't exist. Space is a relationship of a creation. It's not actually spacious. The experience is spacious, but nothing is far from each other. Mars is right here. Jupiter's right here. Andromeda is right here. All things are close. Paris is right there. Australia is right there. Because I get it through here. But when you objectify yourself in a reality and there's matterings and the laws are in place, then you work with that space-time continuum and have your experience. But think about it. Go back into this self. And everything is that. And that's all there is. But everything that you find around you is actually moving through you and you're not even moving. Why? How is it coming? How does it get there? Because it's attracted. You may play out the things of walking or driving to your job and doing those things. And then you're in this massive co-created, telepathic, co-created psyche reality with humanity. And then you have all the laws into place and everything that makes gravity and the sky blue and your building looks the same and all that falls into place and you don't have to do a damn thing and you call that life. And that's great. But all of it, none of it, all of it, none of it matters. You know? Absolutely. Don't expect it to be anyway. And that's going to be an arduous task. In the chat, Bailey Scott writes, I find myself more satisfied with reality when I stop expecting it to be a certain way. Absolutely. All the things you've ever wanted, and this is coming from Abraham, this is coming from Seth, this is coming from Bashar, this is coming from Jay-Z Knight, and she channels Ramtha. This is coming from all the greats. Everything you've ever wanted is trying to get to you. But your perception of what you want is based on an egoic structure. And if it doesn't get to that, then everything else doesn't matter. This is the only thing that matters. So you work for this life, But this life is not the life you can have. This is the life that you create because you find things valuable and wanting. And those are all based off of the structure of humanity. All of your cultural belief systems, everything that your parents said were valued, that you took as valuable, and you create your life after that. You know, one of the stupidest things that parents can ever fucking say to a child. And if you're a parent, listen the fuck up. I want what's best for you. That's the most absolute narcissistic fucking thing you can say to your child, because you have no idea what's best for that child. You only know what's best for you. And you're not here for the child, but that's a badge of honor, a duty, a responsibility that you wrap yourself in. It says, I'm a parent and I'm going to take care of my kids and raise them right and do this and do that. Kids won't be raised wrong. They won't be raised wrong if you leave them alone. Let them find their way. If you want to nurture them, nurture love, not what they're supposed to be, not what you think they should do. That's when you start to cage them. That's when you start to get the resistance. How'd you like it when someone told you no and it's best for you? You fucking hated it. But you're later on in life, you're going, you guys were right. But you never found out, did you? You never had the experience because you're always sacrificing and compromising your own free will for the likes of the external objectification because they matter. Now you're just fucked. It's not too late. Never too late, because we don't have time. What matters now is you. And forget about all the other stuff and helping the world and solving the world and saving the world and all the stupid stuff that takes your attention and draws you away out of your now and out of your kingdom and into the world of objectification and all the polarity that it offers, continuing that version of yourself. Take all that away and start letting everything that you think is valuable, that matters, go. And watch reality take care of itself on its own. Oh, you still have to do stuff. Yeah, you can't sit back and not do anything. You're going to have to take action. You're going to have to do those things when the moment arises that says, here, you want to do this? And you're going, yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. Let me do that. Right now, if you're in a shit job, everyone's always asking me, how do I get out of a shit job? I don't like what I'm doing. I want to do my passion. What is my passion? See, that's the fucking issues, because you're trying to objectify your passion. You can't objectify it. You have to find it by releasing what you think is valuable. Do you have responsibilities? You have to pay your bills. Yes. Do you? That's what your mind is telling you. You have to do all this. What's going to happen if you don't? And the only thing the mind can come up with is bad things. And that's what keeps you aligned with what you're supposed to do. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying stop paying your bills. What I'm saying is stop valuing what you think matters and observe it. Remember, we talked about the observation. Please start to observe what you find valuable. You still get up and go to work, but now you do it with a new approach. Now I'm going to step into this job as not it matters. If I lose it, then I'm out. This will happen. This will happen. This will happen. I better shut up and put my head down and compromise and do the extra hours and all that stuff I'm supposed to do. And I'll just abide like a fucking slave. Great. And then that's your life. Or you can be divine. And you go in there and you start finding your truth and you start trusting yourself. And your mind's going to battle you because your mind, your ego is going to go, wait a minute. This stuff matters, and I'm here to protect you. We are in survival mode. This is a horrific world, a horrific planet where you can die just like that every fucking day. And it's the truth. So the ego is, I'm here to protect you. So it scares you. It says, oh, here's what's going to happen if you don't. But that's not happening. The only thing that's happening is the now. And in the now, if you're not in danger, if there's nothing going on and everything you're thinking of is in time, then you know you're living through fear. And that's now what matters. And again, that's an objectification. It's outside of you. It's what you value because you're afraid. You're afraid because the world taught you to be afraid. You're afraid because when you came here, you lost the sense of yourself. So that terrified each and every one of us when we arrived on this planet and squashed ourselves into a tiny little human fucking body when we're the gestalt of all that is. And then we have to navigate the reality through a separated self that has a cultural belief system that says it's this. And then we have to live off of that. And that's not the way to live. What the way to live for right now is to open yourself up to observation and start finding what matters. And then don't value it for one moment and see if there can be a change possible and allow something else to move in. Remember, again, Abraham said it best. Everything you've ever wanted is trying to get to you. But every time you push it away from you because you say no to the opportunity that will take you to that road. Right? It'll take you on that path. I did this, this, and this is where I ended up. Without those actions that felt right, I would have never got here. I'd be on a completely different reality with a completely different understanding of myself. But there was an opportunity that made itself known, and I said yes to it. And I said yes again, and I said yes again. And it didn't look like it was the right thing. I was like, well, I was questioning it, and I was, but I remember I don't have to objectify things because none of that's happening now. So in the now, I just stood by and allowed the now and forget about the things that I thought that mattered. And what ended up happening is this life that I have right now, this timeline that I'm on, this path. And it's going to shift again. And it's going to shift again after that. And it's the most exciting thing because I have no safety, I have no security, I have no future, and I have no past. And that's how we live naturally. We flow through experience. And none of it matters because all of it matters. Because it's all your mattering that is flowing through you for the evolution of your consciousness. That's what it is. Isn't that most fantastic idea? The chat says, truth, anxiety can keep you alive, but it can also prevent you from living our truest life. Releasing the fear allows us to find the truth within. Absolutely. Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. How you doing, Dawn? The more conscious I am of the more I rid myself of the human effort. And that's I love that you wrote human effort. And that's what it is. Because all humans do is effort. I lost effort. I let go of effort. I allow. I'm not afraid. My mind goes apeshit. Not as much as it used to. It's gotten a lot quieter. But before it was like, oh my God, what are you not doing? What about this? What about that? And I was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Let's see how it plays out. Because I don't need to be safe and secure when I leave this plane. I don't need to be safe and secure in my abundance for my retirement because I'm a God and I trust me and I'm going to get the things I need that supports my vibration. And my vibration is not shit. I love the fuck out of myself. I'm learning myself more and more, falling deeper and deeper in love with me. And that authenticity only vibrates a reality that matches that. I don't get shit shows. I don't get poor. I don't get cold. I don't get hungry. I get awesome. I get exquisite. I get this most marvelous reality without having to have all the things and structures in place that make me get that and keep it safe and secure and continue it. No, I'm not bound to that fucking slavery. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no. Yes. Oof. It is exquisite. I was thinking this is where I get. I'm living in a 4,500 square foot house, right? I have a gourmet kitchen. I have an LG washer and dryer, which I always dreamed about when I was a few years ago. God, that's the most amazing. I had it and I was at a friend's house. I was like, that's the most amazing washer and dryer. I got to drive a $75,000 Mercedes-Benz for a couple of weeks. And I have a pet horse now. And I didn't pay a thing for any of those things. And none of those things are costing me any money. Because I got the fuck out of my way and I trusted Sylvester and I said, okay, I suck at this. My life has been fucking miserable. I've been trying and efforting and I fail, fail, fail. And my mind loves the failure because it wants to feel pity and a victim. And then it tries again and then it cycles. And all of that is me doing the human. So now that I see that, Sly, I'm going to stop. And I did. And now my life is exquisite. I'm deeply in love with my funny little honey. We've been together 10 years. 10 years this month, as a matter of fact. 10 fucking years I have been in love, growing deeper in love. I'm in this monumental place. I have transportation, I have abundance, food, and monetary ideas to get stuff and live my life. All because I stopped working on the things that I thought that mattered. I said no more because I suck at it with the human. I'm not smart. I was not very good at school. I was great at talking with people though. I was great at seeing perceptions. I was seeing the angle. I always had that knack, like Beethoven in the thing. I was always a great speaker. I became a great salesperson, and always people would come to me when they had issues, and I always gave them a perspective, and that came from inside. See, I found it, and that turned into channeling and turning into my teaching, and I love it. I love teaching. That's not a job. I love that. That's a passion. I love giving people. And it was a struggle for me at the beginning because I wanted them to see my point of view because I had the freedom and I saw their pain. But I was like, why do I need to see their pain? It's not my job to fix their pain. It's my job to give them what can release them from it. But it's their choice. So I had to work through that and release that. And once I got that, I became a better teacher. So I evolved. It's so wonderful. Oh, I do have a, thank you, Carrie, because I have a beautiful heart. I have an extraordinary heart. I found that out. I really love people. I don't love the human side of them, but I know the God side of them. That's what I love. And there's always an opportunity to offer, to help, to give that. And I never force it. I never preach. I just allow, and if the moment calls, then I'll offer my understanding of reality and give them the words of wisdom and give them, the other day, we went back to San Antonio because I had to go get my 6-month Lupron shot, which is a testosterone thing. And I went back there 2 nights ago, I guess it was Thursday. We stayed the night and drove back on Friday, and it was 4 hours. So I wanted to go out to dinner. So we go out to dinner, and the waitress is there. We've seen her before a couple of times, and here she is, pregnant, living in the Livingston Inn, just tiny little motel. And, I had the abundance. So I gave her an enormous tip. It was over 100%. Not because I wanted to be awesome for her, not because I wanted to be recognized, because that was the right thing to do. Not the right thing to do as it's measured by human. No, no, no. Never objectify your right thing. You have to feel your right thing. That's how you find your path, is you trust the inner self, the inner alignment. So at that moment, I knew it was like, okay, you can use this much money. You can have that much money because I have it. I'm not going to give away all my money to every person I see. Of course not. But in the moment, that's when it sings. And when that alignment happens, there's no mistaking it. And that brings that person into a version of themselves of worthiness. And they're allowed to have that. And it brightens their inner self. It lights them up a little bit. And maybe they're allowed to choose for themselves a little bit better of a life instead of a struggling life. That they know these things are out there. Just that little bit of freedom and that allowance and that good-willed nature, so to speak, is attracted in their life. And that can spark something. So that's when the moment calls. That's how I start navigating. That's how I found my way here. It is so beautiful. Anyways, it's a matter of what's mattering. And I know what matters. Coffee used to matter to me so much, and it creates a ripple effect. It does create a ripple effect. That's chat. Very good. Coffee used to be everything. Now I drink tea and it doesn't matter. I have it and it's in the moment. And then sometimes I get excited about, oh, I have hot chocolate. Let's get a hot chocolate. It's going to be chilly tonight. I love it. You know? Will you be attending the Consciousness Expo in Los Angeles? No, I know Bashar and them are going to be there and stuff. I went to one as a non-channeler uh, way back in, I don't know, maybe 2017 or 2015, I think, to a channel panel. And then I was like, I can't be in the audience. I need to be on stage. So if I ever got invited, absolutely, I would be there. But yeah, that hasn't happened yet. So anyways, I think that's all about it. So think about it. Just to sum up real quick, think about, I'm observing myself and I'm going to observe my emotions. And when something becomes static or resistance or important in my intent or my anxiety raises or my temperature raises or my vibration raises, I was like, oh, okay, this is the moment that something matters to me. And now I'm going to look at it from a subjective point of view and objectify to see this belief system that creates and structures my reality. And maybe I can change it. Maybe I can change the relationship so where that doesn't matter, because without it, I'm still going to be fine. Without it, I'm still going to be me. Now, let me create the version of me that I love and not what supports the idea of what my ego thinks I am. That's when you objectify and create an identity. And that is going to be very painful. Anthony says, well, shit, I made it almost in time. LOL. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you, darling. So anyways, I think that's all I want to say tonight. Slow down to speed up. That's it. Okay, listen, one more thing. Like, subscribe if you haven't liked the video, if you like it. If you don't like it, don't fucking like it. Subscribe and support the channel through donations right there on Odyssey of Ascension. There is a donate button. Don't be afraid to donate if you choose to do so. If you don't feel guilty about it. It is an alignment. We're here teaching you discernment and finding your nature and not the fractal. The I am is here. The I am not is the identity, right? All right, guys. You have a wonderful Sunday evening. I love you all, and we will see you in the next now, okay? Journey well, Masters. Have a great evening.